I just want to fucking stop these people. They gotta be stopped. We gotta stop.
Well, it doesn't look like Alex Jones is going to be able to stop him. He's not having a good time. Earlier this month, the bankruptcy trustee disclosed a plan to shut down Alex Jones' InfoWars. So he might not only lose ownership of the show, might get shut down completely. This is after recently he sold a $2.6 million ranch. And this judgment's not going anywhere. Apparently, it can't be bankrupted. There's nowhere he can run and hide. Well, if he left the country, maybe. As long as he stays in the United States, $1.5 billion debt is going to stay over his head. We're talking about possibility of getting your wages garnished and everything subpoenaed, every dime you ever make. This is especially important for a guy like Alex Jones because the only way he knows how to make money is to put himself in the public eye. Right, radio, news, these types of media. So even if it was like, hey, we'll start a business with my wife and she'll make money. It's like, yeah, but you got to put your face out there. And the moment people hear you, the lawyers are going to come in for that money. So it's going to be very hard for him. For those of you that don't know, this judgment of $1.5 billion was because of the lies he told about the victims of Sandy Hook. If you remember, there was a horrible incident there where somebody went into the school, shot up the place. He's been going on saying that the whole thing was a hoax and that the parents and children were crisis actors. All right. So he went on his show many times talking this crap, and it obviously really upset the families. However, $1.5 billion is just a level of money that is mind-boggling. You know, I got a good friend of mine, Paul Walker, who's an attorney, and he deals in these kind of things. So I wanted to ask him what he thought. So Paul, you know, why the number? Why is it so big? Why, or at least, why do you think the number is so big?
This is one of those things that is difficult, obviously, to put a financial number on in terms of a damage award. What I think is clear based on the amount of money that was awarded, $1.5 billion, that's an incomprehensible amount of money, obviously. What that says to me, as far as what the jury had in mind with respect to the award itself, they wanted that award to punish Alex Jones for the rest of his life, such that no matter how much success financially he was able to have throughout the rest of his life, this judgment would constantly haunt him for the rest of his life, no matter how much success he had.
So I get it. It's going to follow him for the rest of his life. He's not going to be able to get out of it unless he gets out of the United States. From what I can see, it seems like it was just a judgment based on emotion, because that's what the jury, you know, is made up of people, peers, right? And they get rallied up. And that's fine. I get it. You know, he crossed the line. But, you know, there's also freedom of speech, but there's repercussions. Freedom of speech doesn't mean that you're free from repercussions. And I get that. And like I said before, you know, if it was a couple of million or something, it was something I could get behind, you know. But this level, this $1.5 billion makes me worry about the integrity of free speech. You know, if we're over punishing someone, you also got to look is how genuine those accusations were. I know they did the trial and they interviewed him and they found that, you know, it really wasn't really genuine, but there are circumstances in which someone may have really hold that type of belief and say, hey, you know, I really think those were crisis actors. I don't think that this happened, you know. So yeah, you're disseminating that, but it's not necessarily that you're doing it in a way that is, you know, malice or whatever. But I noticed another thing in this judgment, you know, they were talking about the number, and it was because he made money by spreading those lies, right? You had advertisers and such. So it was on a show that generated money. Again, still, I do not see how you come up with the $1.5 billion, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. I never particularly watched his show. I liked watching him on Rogan. You know, he's out there for sure, but I can only imagine how he feels now and how it's going to be with this affecting the rest of his life. He's never going to have any measure of financial success, financial freedom for the rest of his life unless he leaves the United States. I don't know. You guys think it was a fair judgment?